There are 8 things you should never tell anyone, no matter how close the relationship is, not even your parents. Otherwise, you may face serious consequences. Particularly, the 7th point could lead to family breakdown or divorce. The following content is very practical and could completely change your mindset. I know your life is busy, but what I'm about to say isn't easy to grasp, especially if you only hear it once. My advice is to watch until the end, listen repeatedly when you're free or doing housework. Save and share this playlist for convenience. I guarantee that within a few short months, your thinking will advance to a whole new level. Today, we'll explore 8 things you should never share with even your closest friends, because friends can be unpredictable. It's better to keep these things to yourself to avoid unnecessary trouble and attracting ill-wishers. 1. Your financial situation. Years ago, in an old town, there was a small blacksmith shop run by an elderly blacksmith. He sat inside the shop, with goods displayed outside. No matter when you passed by, you'd see him lying on a chair inside, with an antique purple clay teapot on a small wooden table. His daily income was modest, just enough for tea and meals. One day, an antique dealer passed by and noticed the teapot. After careful inspection, he identified it as a rare masterpiece from the Qing dynasty and offered 100,000 yuan for it. The old man, surprised, refused because the teapot was a family heirloom passed down from his grandfather. Though he didn't sell the teapot, the old man lost sleep for the first time in his life. The teapot he had used for 60 years, once thought ordinary, was now worth a fortune. He became anxious, constantly checking if the teapot was still there. Worse, when villagers learned about the valuable teapot, they started borrowing money from him, and his children wanted to divide the inheritance. His life was turned upside down. When the dealer returned with 200,000 yuan, the old man couldn't take it anymore. He gathered his neighbors, raised a hammer, and smashed the teapot into pieces. Soon after, his life returned to normal, and he reportedly lived to be 100 years old. The shocking moment wasn't just the smashing of the teapot but the destruction of temptation, greed, and endless desire. However, the truth was that the smashed teapot was a fake. The real one was secretly sold to the dealer, earning him 200,000 yuan while preventing outsiders and his children from coveting it. This money allowed him to live comfortably. Money can change even the closest relationships. Friends can become enemies over money. When others know you have money, they may want to borrow from you. If you refuse, they may doubt your feelings. Repeated financial dealings can erode friendships and family bonds, as human hearts often falter under the test of wealth. 2. Your romantic relationships. A man was haunted by the memory of a woman he couldn't forget. He asked everyone how to forget her. Eventually, he heard about a temple on a mountain where a master could help worldly people. Excited, he went to the temple. When he met the master, he poured out his story in great detail. The master listened silently, then offered him a small bottle of water, saying it would help him forget all his troubles. The man hesitated, asking if drinking it would erase all his memories. The master shook his head and said, "Joy and sorrow, separation and reunion, are all temporary. There's nothing inherently good or bad. Some things are meant to be forgotten." The man quickly refused, saying he didn't want to forget her entirely, just stop thinking about her. The master smiled and turned to his disciple, asking how he memorized scriptures. The disciple replied, "By thinking and reading a lot." The master then asked, "How would you forget them?" The disciple thought and said, "By not thinking or reading about them." The master turned to the man and said, "You keep telling everyone your story, even recounting it to me in detail. How can you say you want to forget?" Even this disciple understands that not thinking or remembering leads to forgetting. What are you still clinging to? The master concluded that the man didn't truly want to forget but was unhappy with his current life. Love isn't one-sided but a shared connection. For those not meant to be, no matter how hard you try, the outcome won't change. Letting go and accepting reality brings the most beautiful scenery to life. 3. Your weaknesses and personal secrets. One day, a hedgehog told a fruit, Your armor is amazing. I'm jealous." The hedgehog, unable to resist the compliment, revealed the secret. "Actually, my armor has a weakness. When I curl up, there's a small soft spot on my belly. If someone blows on it, I'll tickle and uncurl." The fruit was surprised, but the hedgehog warned, "You must never reveal this secret to anyone, especially the fox. If the fox finds out, I'm doomed." The fruit promised, "Don't worry, I'd never betray a friend." Not long after, the fruit fell into the fox's hands. To save itself, the fruit revealed the hedgehog's secret. The fox spared the fruit and caught the hedgehog. In life, never reveal your weaknesses or secrets to anyone. These vulnerabilities can become someone else's weapon when your life is in danger. This often happens in the workplace. Some people, wanting deeper friendships, share their secrets or weaknesses to gain trust. Like the hedgehog exposing its soft belly, things may seem fine while you're friends. But when interests clash, friends can become rivals, and your weaknesses become weapons against you. In a battle, a soldier told his general, "There's a sniper 200 meters ahead, but he's a terrible shot. He's missed many times." The general asked, "Why don't you take him out?" The soldier replied, "Are you crazy? Do we want them to replace him with a better sniper?" This story teaches us to recognize others' weaknesses but never remind them of them. You never know when a friend might become an enemy. If you reveal all your weaknesses, you become an easy target. Never belittle yourself in front of others, or you'll create a broken window effect. When a window is broken and not repaired, other windows will soon be broken too. Similarly, if trash isn't cleaned up, people will add more trash. Many people belittle themselves to lower others' expectations and gain approval, but they overlook one truth: once you start belittling yourself, you become the person others use and even vent their frustrations on. Belittling yourself doesn't help you advance or improve relationships, it only makes you lose respect and admiration. Therefore, cherish yourself, it's the only way to overcome the broken window effect. 4. Past mistakes. Long ago, a scholar failed his exams due to sabotage and lost his childhood sweetheart. Depressed, he turned to alcohol. One day, he met a monk and begged for guidance. The monk took him on a 3-day journey, allowing him only water and no food. Each day, the scholar fed horses, chopped wood, and slept in a stable. After 3 days, the scholar broke down crying, regretting how he had tortured himself. The monk said, "Isn't this what you've been doing? Punishing yourself for others' mistakes, bringing suffering upon yourself." Painful past experiences shouldn't be revisited too often. As Adam Smith said in The Theory of Moral Sentiments, no one can truly empathize with another's pain. Even if you're pierced by 1,000 arrows, the pain is yours alone. At a certain age, you'll realize that life is like a play, and loneliness is normal. When you laugh, the world laughs with you, but when you cry alone. You can't expect others to understand your struggles or share your pain. This may sound harsh, but it's the truth. Like the story of the little monkey, while foraging, it got scratched and bled profusely. Instead of tending to its wound, it kept showing it to others for sympathy. Some pitied it, while others laughed. Each time it showed the wound, it reopened, leading to infection and near death. As the writer Moyan said, "Don't think the world cares about your problems. Do you think everyone is as good as you? In reality, everyone has their own concerns. No one cares about your issues." Don't keep recounting your pain to others, because 20% don't care, and 80% might secretly laugh at you. Revisiting the past only deepens your sorrow. Human suffering isn't shared. The hardest days must be overcome alone. Heal your past wounds yourself. Relying on others is less reliable than relying on yourself. Waiting for someone to save you is less effective than finding your own way out. Never easily share your past with anyone, nor reveal your cards just because of a moment of connection. All those who bully you are people who know you well. Those you trust the most can hurt you the most because they easily hit your weak spots. 5. Complaints and blame. There was once a scholar who failed his exams due to sabotage and lost his childhood sweetheart. Depressed, he turned to alcohol. One day, he met a monk and begged for guidance. The monk took him on a 3-day journey, allowing him only water and no food. Each day, the scholar fed horses, chopped wood, and slept in a stable. After 3 days, the scholar broke down crying, regretting how he had tortured himself. The monk said, "Isn't this what you've been doing? Punishing yourself for others' mistakes, bringing suffering upon yourself." Painful past experiences shouldn't be revisited too often. As Adam Smith said in The Theory of Moral Sentiments, no one can truly empathize with another's pain. Even if you're pierced by 1,000 arrows, the pain is yours alone. At a certain age, you'll realize that life is like a play, and loneliness is normal. When you laugh, the world laughs with you, but when you cry alone. You can't expect others to understand your struggles or share your pain. This may sound harsh, but it's the truth. Like the story of the little monkey, while foraging, it got scratched and bled profusely. Instead of tending to its wound, it kept showing it to others for sympathy. Some pitied it, while others laughed. Each time it showed the wound, it reopened, leading to infection and near death. As the writer Moyan said, "Don't think the world cares about your problems. Do you think everyone is as good as you? In reality, everyone has their own concerns. No one cares about your issues." Don't keep recounting your pain to others, because 20% don't care, and 80% might secretly laugh at you. Revisiting the past only deepens your sorrow. Human suffering isn't shared. The hardest days must be overcome alone. Heal your past wounds yourself. Relying on others is less reliable than relying on yourself. Waiting for someone to save you is less effective than finding your own way out. Never easily share your past with anyone, nor reveal your cards just because of a moment of connection. All those who bully you are people who know you well. Those you trust the most can hurt you the most because they easily hit your weak spots. 6. Unlucky words. A netizen shared that a pregnant colleague often complained about the hassle of raising twins, joking, "Maybe I'll give you one." Tragically, one of the twins died at birth. Another friend joked about never having ridden in an ambulance, only to be rushed to the hospital that night for CO poisoning. A high school classmate's mother was electrocuted while planting rice. "We donated to help, but another classmate joked, 'Why doesn't anyone donate to me?' A week later, his mother was also electrocuted, and we had to donate again." Another netizen shared that a colleague who always said, "I'm so annoyed," eventually got cancer. In a sewing factory, a colleague's hand was pierced by a sewing machine. He joked, "I wish the other hand got pierced too for symmetry." Days later, his other hand was pierced. A Chinese internet celebrity once told fans, "I won't return to Guizhou, I'll sleep under the sea." He later died in a car accident by drowning. Therefore, avoid unlucky words. Don't say things that invite misfortune, as your words shape your destiny. When angry, don't curse others, as you're sowing bad karma for yourself. Negative consequences will come, though you won't know when. Cursing others brings no benefit to them or you. Curses carry resentment, and over time, your face will distort. Before 20, your appearance is inherited. After 20, it's cultivated by yourself. A kind soul and gentle words make your appearance warm and approachable. This self-cultivation also brings good fortune. As the saying goes, good things don't come true, but bad things do. Ancient people believed that words have power, so respect them, especially in speech. The mouth is the gate of fortune and misfortune. Careless speech is the root of disaster. Be cautious with your words. If you've had unlucky thoughts or words in the past, reduce and avoid them completely from now on. 7. Boasting about success. A boss who liked to speak bluntly hurt many people. Recently, he bought a large villa in the city but didn't boast about it online. He once shared that he suddenly matured overnight after a village party 3 years ago. Drunk, he said he earned 50 million in a year, just a small thing. 6 months later, the fish in his pond were poisoned to death. In places without streetlights, only stray dogs roam at night. The cruelest part of human nature is the inability to tolerate others doing better, especially those who were once inferior. As Yang said, don't flaunt happiness, success, or achievements. Basic physics shows that things exposed to air lose moisture. Refrigeration is the best way to preserve freshness. Gradually, you'll understand that life is your own, unrelated to others. Those at higher levels cultivate hiding their talents, while those at lower levels like to show off. If you share joy with the wrong people, it becomes boasting. If you're an underachieving friend, I'll be sad. If you're a top-performing friend, I'll be even sadder. I hope you do well, but not better than me. In reality, most people can accept strangers' success but can't tolerate the success of those around them. Like a beggar who isn't jealous of a millionaire but is jealous of another beggar earning more. What's easily achieved is called envy, what's unattainable is called admiration. In the novel Malice, there's a profound story. Kusuk's grandfather and Hitaka were childhood friends. At school, Kusuk's grandfather was often bullied, and Hitaka always protected him. After high school, they went their separate ways. Years later, they reunited. Hitaka had become a famous writer, while Kusuk's grandfather struggled. Learning of Hitaka's success, jealousy and resentment grew in him. Though Hitaka helped him find a new job, he couldn't shake his envy and hatred. While accepting Hitaka's help, he secretly plotted. Eventually, he killed Hitaka. The story ends with his motive and hatred revealed. I hate you. I hate that you achieved my dream before me. I hate your superior life. I also hate my own weakness. I hate that luck didn't come to me. I hate that I'm not capable enough. I pour all my hatred onto you. No one truly wishes you well, except your parents and a few close friends. Few genuinely rejoice in your success. For most, learning about you is just to confirm you're not better than them. As a line from the movie The Tao of Heaven says, people need to learn to keep two things secret, one is their thoughts, and the other is their abilities. 8. Family Matters. A netizen shared that 6 months ago, a new female employee, around 30, joined a neighboring department. After working together a few times, she seemed gentle and soft-spoken. But she made a big mistake. Soon after joining, she told a colleague, I'm divorced and now living with a man 15 years older. She thought the colleague would keep her secret, but clearly, that wasn't the case. The story spread, and colleagues started gossiping about her, some saying harsh things. Even the boss began doubting her competence. Last weekend, I heard she resigned. I think even then, she didn't understand her mistake. Around you, there will always be many people. Sometimes they'll pretend to care, asking, is something bothering you? Or how have you been lately? Hearing this, you might feel they genuinely care and spill everything, falling into their trap. Not gossiping about personal matters is a quality mature adults need. As the saying goes, every family has its unspeakable troubles. Even in a happy family, there are disagreements. Even loving couples argue. Bad family matters shouldn't be shared outside. You tell others everything, and they may comfort you superficially, but they can't solve your real problems. Later, they'll use your family matters as gossip material. Over time, more people will gossip, and your path will narrow without you realizing it. Remember, no family is without arguments. Family life is a continuous process of compromise and forgiveness. Don't share family issues with outsiders at the first sign of trouble. Many people love hearing about others' misfortunes. They certainly don't genuinely want to help or comfort you. Good news doesn't travel far, but bad news spreads quickly. Some people turn around and spread your family's bad news everywhere. As someone once said, family is the only place you can return to without a reason. It's the place that accepts you no matter how you've changed. In this world, a loving family isn't just a shelter for the body but also a haven for the soul. To build a harmonious, happy family, communication, companionship, and understanding are essential. Communication is the foundation of good relationships. It's the catalyst that strengthens bonds between people.